Hello, in this video you'll see how to create a list of checkboxes. As you can see here, I can select one of them. I can also unselect them, and we will see how to do on this small to-do list. Okay, so enough talking, let's dive into the code. Okay, here I have an empty project, okay, that I just created. Okay, so as you can see, we simply have this test hello world. The first thing we want to do is to add our model. Okay, so let's come here and add our model. We call our model checkbox item. Okay, and each checkbox will have a name and a boolean to check if the checkbox is checked or not. Okay, so let's add the name first. For the type we want it to be a string, and now let's add our boolean. Now for our view, let's create another struct here, and we will call it checkbox view. Okay, what do we need for our view? We need this test, and we also need this image. Okay, so we only need two things, this test and the image. Okay, so let's come back here, and for our view we want this body. The first thing, as we said, the first thing we want to add is the test, but of course we want to add this inside the h tag. So let's add our h tag here, and we want to add this test. And inside our view, we want to bind a checkbox item. Okay, so let's create a bounding variable here. Now that we have this bounding here for our test, what we can see simply we can call this item, and we can ask for the name. Okay, the next thing we want to do, we want to add our image. Okay, but before adding our image, we want this spacer, and after this spacer we want this image. Okay, now let's come down here, and we want to preview this image view. Okay, so instead of this content view, what we want here, we want to call this one. We want to call this checkbox view. Okay, so I will replace this with checkbox view, and inside our checkbox view we want to pass this item. Okay, so let's do that. Let's add a checkbox. For the name, let us put buy grocery. Okay, perfect. Now we have our preview. Okay, but as you notice here, when we click on this, we want this icon. Okay, we want this green icon. Okay, and when it's not clicked, we want this icon. Okay, right now we only have this one, so let's add this one. Okay, in order to add this, we want a condition. Okay, so in case this is checked, so in case this is true, what we want is that green icon. Okay, and in case it's false, we want this. Okay, so how do we add that? We can come here and add a condition. Okay, so let's add a condition item that is checked. So in case it's just checked, we want this icon instead. Okay, but in case it's not, we want this cycle icon. Okay, let me put it this way so that is much clearer. So here, in case we check this condition, is it checked? Yes, we want this icon instead. It's not, we want this. Okay, this semicolon represent the not. Okay, so let's come back here and on a preview again. So instead of this false, let us put true, and normally this is supposed to change. Okay, so now we have this, and we want to do the same thing for the color. Okay, so let me just come here, copy this, and in case it's checked, we want the green color, and if it's not checked, we want the gray color. Okay, so normally this is supposed to turn green. Okay, perfect. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to finish our content view. Instead of this v stack, we want a list of checkboxes. Okay, okay, for our content view, the first thing we want to do, we want to remove this one completely. Okay, and we want to add a list instead. So let's add a list, and we also need some data. Okay, so yeah, we add some mock data. So as you can see, we have 4 items of checkboxes. We have buy grocery, call John, water the plant, and finish report. Okay, now inside our list, we want to go through all of them, all of these items, and render our view. Okay, so let's come here in our list for each. for each of these items, what we want to do, we want to call this on checkbox view, and we want to pass our item, and we have our item here. Okay, so we can just copy this and put it here. Okay, let's go back to our preview and switch it back to the content view. So here, instead of this on checkbox view, we want this content view instead. Okay, and here we go, we have on this. Okay, right now it's not clickable because we didn't add the clickable option here. So let's fix this first. So we want to come back to our checkbox view, and what we want to do, we want to add a on tap gesture. Okay, so here after this foreground color, what we want to do, we want to add this on tap gesture, and the only thing we will do is to copy this item, and we want to modify this on check property, and we simply want to toggle it. Okay, so now normally when we click on this, okay, it's supposed to work. Okay, as you can see. So the last thing we want to do, we want to simply add this my to-do list, and I think we are done. Okay, in order to add this on title, what we can do, we can simply add a navigation view and take this list and put it inside our navigation view. And now on this navigation view, what we can do, we can simply add a navigation title, and for our title we can put my to-do list. Now we can test our app. Okay, so let's run our app, and we can see that our navigation title doesn't work. It's simply because I added this to the wrong place. So let's cut this and put it on the list instead. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. So let's run our app again, and we can see everything works perfectly. If we click on this, okay, it switch. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, take care. Bye bye.